All right, so OpenAI's recent DevDay, it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
They basically dropped a mountain of new AI tools on us. I mean, tools with the potential to like totally change how we do, well, almost everything. I'm talking like learning new languages to visual design, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, and what I find really interesting is how it's changing how we interact with AI. It's not just those like clunky old chatbot interactions anymore.
Right.
We're talking about an AI that feels like you're talking to another person,
Yeah.
like their new real-time API.
Okay, so for those of us who don't speak fluent tech, what does like real-time API even mean? And more importantly, why should we care?
Okay, so imagine learning a new language, right? And instead of those awkward pauses while the app processes what you're saying, you have this real-time back and forth, like a real conversation. You could talk with an AI tutor, and it would feel as natural as if they were sitting right there with you.
So no more of that like robotic start, stop thing we're used to with AI.
Exactly.
That's huge.
And it's not just language learning. Like, picture a fitness app. Let's call it Healthify or something.
All right.
And it's using this real-time API, right? So you're working out, and the AI coach is giving you instant feedback on your form, adjusting the intensity based on how you're doing. It's like having a personalized trainer right there in your living room with you.
Now that's what I'm talking about. But they didn't stop there, right? GPT-4 can understand images now. Like it's not just about text anymore.
Sure. Yeah, GPT-4 Turbo. It's a game changer. It can look at an image and understand what it's seeing just like it understands text.
Whoa, really?
Okay. Yeah.
So give me an example. Like how could someone actually use that?
Okay, so let's say you're looking at a super complicated chart for work.
Oh, like one of those charts with a million tiny numbers.
Exactly. You could upload that chart to GPT-4 and it could analyze all that data for you in seconds and give you the key takeaways.
Whoa.
No more spending hours trying to decipher those tiny numbers. It's like having an instant data analyst on hand.
That's incredible. It's like GPT-4 just put on a pair of glasses and can now see the world.
It really is something else.
Yeah.
And it has so many applications. Think about the medical field, right?
Okay, yeah.
A doctor could upload a medical scan, let GPT-4 analyze it. It could potentially diagnose things way faster, maybe even save lives.
That's amazing. And speaking of visually impressive, we got to talk about DALL-E 3. You remember that AI that could create those crazy images from just text descriptions?
Yeah, I got a huge upgrade.
Did it?
What's cool is that it's available through OpenAI's API now. Developers can build it right into their apps.
Oh, wow.
We're already seeing companies like Coca-Cola using it for their marketing.
So wait, instead of just like typing in a bottle of Coke on a beach, DALL-E 3 could create a photorealistic image of that, like something you'd see in an ad.
Yeah, and it's not just for marketing either. Imagine what designers could do. Create mock-ups in seconds, try out different ideas, all with a few keystrokes. It could change how we think about creative work completely.
It's like having an entire creative team at your fingertips. I mean, this really feels different, like a real turning point. AI is becoming way more accessible and a part of our everyday lives. And it's not just about what we see, right? OpenAI is also changing how things sound. Like, remember those old AI voices? They sounded so robotic.
Oh, yeah.
Like a robot trying to be human.
Well, the tech's come a long way.
It has.
Yeah, their new text-to-speech API makes voices that sound incredibly real, like human.
Really? No more robot voice. So how's this going to change things?
Okay, so think about listening to an audiobook,
Okay.
but it's narrated by a voice that sounds totally real, with all the inflections and emotions, even though it's AI.
Man, that would be a game changer for audiobooks, for podcasts. Like, imagine the voiceovers for videos.
Absolutely, and businesses could use it for customer service or virtual assistants that don't sound so robotic and stiff,
Yeah.
just making those interactions feel more human.
Yeah, for sure. It's like OpenAI is pushing the limits of what AI can even do. But okay, one more thing we got to hit. Fine-tuning. So what does it even mean to fine-tune GPT-4, and why should developers be excited about this?
Well, imagine you've got a super specific task you need GPT-4 to do. Something that needs specialized knowledge, like say you're an architect, right?
Okay.
And you want GPT-4 to look at your blueprints and actually give you design feedback.
Wow.
With fine-tuning, you can actually train GPT-4 on a whole bunch of architectural drawings. So it learns to really see them, interpret them with an expert eye, like way beyond what a general AI could do.
So instead of just knowing what a building is, it understands good design, what makes it strong. It could even like suggest changes based on all the data you fed it.
Exactly. And that applies to any field, right? Train it on medical images to help diagnose diseases earlier. Or like satellite pictures to track deforestation, but with way more accuracy. The possibilities are kind of endless because developers can build these super specialized AI tools.
It's like taking a regular tool and then sharpening it to do this one incredible thing. So, like, what does all this really mean, for the average person? It's easy to get lost in all the tech stuff. What's the big takeaway?
That AI isn't some far-off thing anymore.
Yeah.
It's here, it's changing so fast, and it's going to impact pretty much everything we do.
Yeah.
Whether it's making tech easier to use or taking over complicated tasks or even, like, making us more creative. These tools, OpenAI announced, that's a peek into the future, when tech understands us better and helps us do way more than we ever thought possible.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, we have a question for you. What possibility out of all of this excites you the most about these new AI tools? And what problem in your life, in your work, even in the world, do you wish AI could solve? And don't be afraid to think big, because with AI, it feels like we're just getting started.